Starting right here.
You say you're a madman. How long have you been in this state of mind? It sounds pretty wonderful.
Well, since I was 9 or 10, you learn to live with your crazy enthusiasms, which nobody else shares. And then you find a few other nuts like yourself, and they're your friends for a lifetime. That's what friends are, the people who share your crazy outlook and protect you from the world, because nobody else is going to give a damn what you're doing. So you need a few other people like yourself.
Bradbury Tape Side 1 with Lisa Potts and Chad Coates.
Do you feel you have to be protected from the world that surrounds you, or?
Well, you're growing, sure, because you're tender and you dot yourself. And friendship is an island that you retreat to, and you all fall on the floor and laugh at all the other ninnies who don't have enough brains to have your good taste, right?
Yeah.
These are kind of weird questions. We had an article in our newspaper that said Ray Bradbury has never driven a car or been in an airplane. Is that true?
That's right. What do you think I'm doing here in the back seat?
You've never in your whole life ever driven?
Never have been behind the wheel.
Why is that?
Oh, it seemed a good idea, that's all.
Are you scared of cars or scared of
I am scared of myself. I think I'd be a bad driver. I'm scared of cars, period. I've had too many friends killed now, and I've seen too many people killed in my life when I drove across the country when I was 12. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. If you see a few real dead bodies with brains on the pavement, it does a lot to change your attitude. It means you can get it too, I've had a lot of relatives killed. I've had a lot of dear friends killed. It's stupid. The whole activity is stupid.
Well, what about, why don't you like to go on airplanes? Are you scared of them too?
I don't like being up high, It took me 3 days to get to the top of the Eiffel Tower.
So you do write, very realistically, don't you know?
Well, it's a combination of realism with fantasy, but no, I don't like realism because we already know the real facts about most of the basic facts. And I'm not interested in repeating what we already know. We know about sex, about violence, about murder, about war, all these things by the time we're 18. We're up to here. From there on, we need interpreters, we need poets, we need philosophers, we need theologians who take the same basic facts and work with them and help us make do with those facts. Facts alone are not enough. It's interpretation.
Well, we'd like to know how you go about writing a story. Like, do you take other people's opinions, and where do you get your ideas?
You don't pay any attention to anything anyone else says. No opinions. The important thing is to explode with a story, to emotionalize a story, not to think it. If you start thinking, the story is going to die on its feet. It's like anything else. If an athlete is running around the high hurdles, let's say, and he starts thinking about the next hurdle, he's doomed. He's going to knock it down. Yeah. People who take books on sex to bed become frigid. You get self-conscious. Yeah. You can't think a story. You can't think, I shall do a story to improve mankind. Well, it's nonsense. All the great stories, all the really worthwhile plays are emotional experiences. Yeah. If you have to ask yourself whether or not you love a girl or you love a boy, forget it. You don't, So a story is the same way. You either feel a story and need to write it, or you better not write it.
Did you have any formal training in writing of any type?
Not formal, no. But I am a dedicated madman, and that becomes its own training. If you can't resist, if the typewriter is like candy to you, you train yourself for a lifetime, every single day of your life, some wild new thing to be done. You write to please yourself. You write for the joy of writing. And then your public reads you, and it begins to gather around your selling a potato peeler in an alley, The enthusiasm, the joy itself draws me. So that means every day of my life I've written. When the joy stops, I'll stop writing.
In most of your books, like Martian Chronicles is about Mars, but even in Illustrated Man, everything that happens in outer space is on Mars. And I was wondering, are you really preoccupied with Mars, or why are you?
Oh, I think because it's closest to us, and you grow up with the romance of Mars, When I was a kid, some of the earliest clear photographs of Mars were being published from the Lowell Observatory in Arizona. And since it's the nearest planet, and we know, we've always had this feeling that someday, if we went anywhere, it would be to the moon and then to Mars. And that's the way it's turning out. We'll be landing there in a few years now.
I think we better turn the tape over. It's
All right.
pretty close there to the end.
Okay.
So.